Hi, it's Vex, and today we're going back to a good favorite of ours. That's right. Ooh, Kozilek. Which Kozilek, you ask? Well, there's two of them, of course. This is our Eldrazi deck, our colorless deck. Kozilek Great Distortion. That's right. The biggest baddies of Magic's past. Or maybe that's the Phyrexians, who knows. But anyways, super big baddies. These Phyrexians are huge. They're large. They're in charge. And they go great with our colorless deck. As I've stated before, and I guess I've stated before, that I want to make a deck of every color, including colorless. So the 32 deck challenge, I'm 27 or something in, so I'm very close to it. Kozilek is one of them, colorless. So this is Kozilek was created in Oath of Gatewatch. And the funny thing is, this is the first time to introduce the colorless mana symbol. So they technically made a 6-color. They backdoor their way into 6-color as being the colorless symbol, because you have to explicitly play colorless, not generic, to cast Kozilek. So what Kozilek does is 8 generic mana and 2 colorless mana, so 10 total, 10 mana value. So when you cast, this has an on-cast trigger, which is great. Even if it gets countered, you still get it. Kozilek the Great Distortion. So when you cast it, if you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. So you draw up to 7 cards, which is wonderful. The whole point of the deck is empty your hand with mana rocks and everything and refill with Kozilek Menace, which is great. And then the cool part is discard a card with convert mana cost X, so mana value X. Counter target spell with mana value X. So I know convert mana cost has now been changed to mana value in Strixhaven, because they use that word everywhere in Strixhaven, so I needed to make it shorter. So this is amazing. I know it's a 10 cost commander. To cast it the first time, 12 to cast it the second time. So this deck has lots and lots of ramp. But before we go in there, we have lots of secondary commanders, and we have tokens. Don't forget your little fun tokens everywhere here. So we have lots of secondary commanders, and guess what? Our secondary commanders are the other Eldrazi Titans. So this deck is super versatile, because you can play OG Kozilek Butcher of Truth, right? Costs 10 generic. There's no colorless symbols. When ETBs draw 4 cards, has Annihilator 4. So the old school Eldrazi has the Annihilators. And the old school Eldrazi has, when it goes in a graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle, its owner shuffles it into their library. Now, that is a triggered ability, unlike Blightsteel Colossus, which is a replacement ability. So it actually does go temporarily, go to a graveyard. Someone can exile it in response, but that doesn't happen very much. But you get to shuffle your entire library back in. So it's anti-Bruvac technology. Bruvac players out there. So this is a good secondary commander. You can draw 4 cards. So let's just see. Put Kozilek right here. Put some Kozilek, the other Kozilek here. And then we have another Eldrazi Titan, Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger. Costs 10, but this is amazing. I love this card. The reason this Kozilek is in command zone, because it just refills your hand. This can be a good commander too, because when you cast it, you exile 2 target permanents, even if it's destroyed. Indestructible. When it attacks, the defending player exiles top 20 cards of their library. So very, very good. From Battle for Zendikar. This is before the colorless. They made that colorless mana in Oath of Gatewatch. We have OG Ulamog the Infinite Gyre. Same concept. See, they're very similar. When ETBs destroy target permanent, indestructible. It doesn't do the milling, but has Annihilator 4, which is pretty tough to beat. And then it has a shuffle thing effect. The OG Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, is banned in Commander, so therefore we cannot get the full Eldrazi experience. But we have Emrakul, the Promised End, and it costs 1 less to cast for each card type among cards in your graveyard. So it's kind of like a Delirium-ish thing. It was in Eldritch Moon, and then when you cast, so on cast trigger, Emrakul, you get control of target player during that player's next turn, so you get to Mindslaver them. And then after that turn, that player gets an extra turn, so they actually take their regular turn. So your Mindslaver turn is an extra turn. And it's flying, trample, protection from instants. So it's not as good as Big Daddy OG Emrakul, which is banned. That's why it's banned, because it's so good. But, Emrakul's there. So those are the 5 legendary Eldrazi that we could play. Then we have some other minor Eldrazi that are on curve. We didn't stuff it with every Eldrazi possible. We stuffed it with just this deck has the good Eldrazi. Because, of course, you need a lot of ramp. You got some removal, other things. You got Matter Reshaper here. So I'm just going to go through the other Eldrazi pretty quickly. Thought Not Seer, a good way to look at players' hands. Endbringer, good way to draw some cards, deal some damage here and there. Conduit of Ruin, get to search your library for some Eldrazi. Then, next creature spell you cast each turn. First creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less. Oblivion Sower, get some land, help ramp a little bit. Bane of Belged. So this does have Annihilator, except for it's kind of cool because it doesn't just annihilate, go to the graveyard, but it just exiles. So it's like Annihilator with exiling effect. That's good there too. Artisan of Kuzlax, you can return some creature card graveyard to the battlefield. That's why they have the shuffle clauses on the original Eldrazi, like Ulamog or Kozilek. However, these Eldrazi, the new Eldrazi, do not have that shuffling clause, so you can reanimate those Eldrazi from the graveyard if necessary. I guess the shuffling clause takes too much text room, so they just didn't do it. But Kozilek right there. Pathrazer of Ulamog. It has like three creature menace, Annihilator 3. So It That Betrays. This is amazing. This is a super good card. Annihilator 2. And let's actually read this one. Whenever opponent sacks a non-token permanent, put that card onto a battlefield under your control. That includes fetch lands. So It That Betrays is amazing. If they play like a Merciless Executioner or Fleshback Marauder, you get to keep everything. So that's good here. Void Winnower, 9. Your opponents can't cast spells with even converted mana cost. Your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana cost. This is amazing. Actually, I have a story with this. I've played this. Somebody played something to steal it, and I had an even converted mana cost to deal with that, but I couldn't because they had Void Winnower. So that was pretty crazy. So these are the Eldrazi Titans, or Big Daddy Eldrazi's. The thing is, this deck is fun to play, but man, players hate getting annihilated. Of course you hate getting annihilated. Like, imagine you just attack with It That Betrays. You make them sack 2 permanents. You take those 2 permanents. It's like a 4-for-1. So it's pretty mean. So, but it's still fun. I would play this deck sporadically. Don't play it all the time. And then we have a new card from Strixhaven. We have Wandering Archaic. It says Wandering. It is a modal double face card. The back is completely irrelevant, but I'll read it just in case. 5 colorless. When an opponent casts an instant sorcery spell, they may pay 2. If they don't, you make a copy. You may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for a copy. So it's kind of like a little tax on their instant sorceries. It's great in this colorless deck because it fits here perfectly. The backside is Explore the Vast Lands. Cost 3. Each player looks at top 5 cards of their library, reveals a land card or instant sorcery card from among them, then puts the cards they reveal this way onto the hand. Rests on the bottom of the library in random order. Each player gains 3 life. Okay, so maybe it's not as useless because you can get land. I forgot you can get land. But you do not want to give your opponents cards. I recommend never playing that side unless you are the most desperate person for that last land ever. And you're not even guaranteed the land. But Wandering Archaic is the front side. You definitely want to play that. So the support creatures here, Geode Golem is super cool. It costs 5 trample. So when it deals combat damage to a player, you may cast your commander from the command zone without paying its mana cost. Wow. So imagine you ramp this on turn 2 or 3 or 4. You attack on turn 5 maybe, and you get like a little Kozilek. Insane. So that is how you cheat Kozilek out. Maybe the second time. It's very good here. Warm Coral Engine, we're playing colorless deck. Warm Coral Engine is just super good. Death Touch, lifelink. So it has your opponents have to face through 2 Death Touch creatures, the original Warm Coral and the token. Steel Hellkite destroys many things. Mirror Battlesphere. You make some little mirrors, do some damage. So it's good. Of course, you're playing colorless. You gotta play Big Daddy Blightsteel. I mean, you can play Big Daddy Blightsteel on any deck because Big Daddy Blightsteel is Big Daddy Blightsteel. So, a little infect damage here. Then we have a Planeswalker suite. I actually have all the colorless ones. So, essentially, Karn Liberated, destroy some permanents. Exile cards in hand. I would not recommend the restart the game mode because that is a little crazy. You don't want to restart another Commander game. Next, you have Karn the Great Creator. This is cool because it's kind of like a no rod. One side, no rod. Activate abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can be activated. The cool part is until your next turn, up to one target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power toughness equal to its converted mana cost, so you get a little extra beating there. Like let's say you're playing a bridge or whatever, you can turn it's called six mana value. You could turn it into a 6/6, get the beats on. 2, this actually is not as useless as it sounds. You may choose an artifact card you own from outside the game or in exile. Reveal that card and put it in your hand. Now, remember this part. In exile. So somebody exiles something, Karn can get it back. There is no outside the game in EDH. But you can get stuff back from exile. Karn, Sign of Urza actually works with the other Karn, because you can you exile a card with a silver counter on it, but you can get it back with this Karn or this Karn, and then you make little Karn structs, so that's pretty neat. Ugin the Ineffable can destroy colored permanents, make things cost less. OG Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, destroy things, Ghostfire things. All right, so we have our creature suite, our planeswalkers. Just pretty. I mean, you don't need that many creatures because your creatures are gigantic and they annihilate, so they work really, really well. Let's put this here. Kozilek's been hiding out, keeps hiding, and then we have our ramp. So this deck is a lot of lands and a lot of ramp because obviously we got 10 mana commander. We got giant creatures like Blightsteel and these huge Eldrazi here, Eldrazi Titans, and you gotta be able to play them. So you guys gotta ramp hard early. So here's our ramp package here. So we'll actually go through this. We'll go all the colorless ramp that I kind of put in there. Soul Ring, Mind Stone, Thought Vessel. It's not like we're having that many extra cards. It's just another piece of ramp. Everflowing Chalice, Unstable Obelisk. So this actually has a cool part of after you're done ramping, you can sack it to destroy something. It does cost 7 to sack and destroy. It's very expensive, but it is what it is. Worn Power Stone. I love this piece of ramp here. Skyclave Relic. You can either make a Dreamstone Hedron by paying 6 or a Darkstone Ingot. So it's a very good piece of ramp there. And then you can add 1 mana of any color, of course, but it doesn't really matter. Add purple. Hedron Archive. Thurn Dynamo. Now this is a great piece of ramp. Forsaken Monument. So I think it's one of the most important one. When you tap a mana, I permanent for a colorless mana, add additional colorless. And guess what we're doing? We're adding lots of colorless. Forsaken Monument. There's the Dreamstone Hedron right here that we're talking about. Urza's Incubator. This is kind of like ramp because when ETBs, creature spells of the chosen type, Eldrazi of course, costs 2 less to cast. Palladium Mirror, double, makes double colorless. Kozilek's Channeler makes double colorless. Is actually an Eldrazi too, because so can get a discount from Urza's Incubator. Wayfarer's Bauble gets a land from your deck. Solemn Lachem gets a land from your deck. Burnished Heart. You see how the ramp, like this is a lot of ramp. Burnished Heart gets 2 lands from your deck. Right there. Thematic Compass gets more lands from your deck. Okay, so this is all the ramp here. This is a lot. Let's actually count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pieces of ramp. There's like 38 lands in the deck. So about, what's that? 56 pieces of mana. So it's like the deck is half mana essentially. It's like has more ramp spells than maybe a landfall deck. Who knows? It's close. Okay, so we got some utility cards here. Let's get this ramp out of the way. Put that in our pile. Got some utility cards. Like Mystic Forge gets you to cast stuff from the top of your deck. It's really good because you're playing a colorless deck, of course. Oracle's Vault lets you cast some free stuff. If you get enough brick counters, some card draw. Tamio's Journal. Get some clues. Get you a Demonic Tutor if you get enough clues. Expedition Map. Get you your. We do play some Urza or dual or lands that have tap for two or more mana. So this is kind of like rampish if you consider that. Yeah, I guess it is ramp. Let's put in the ramp pile. Boom, 19 pieces of ramp. Planet Bridge. This is kind of like ramp, but it's kind of like Cheat Your Creature because you get to search your library for a creature card and smack it on the battlefield. Now you do not get cast triggers from this, but you do get ETB triggers, and then you get you can take Blightsteel from your deck, of course, put it onto the battlefield. Yeah, some protection, Lightning Greaves. You want to, it'd be sweet to just play Kozilek, Greaves Kozilek up, protect Kozilek. And then, of course, attack for, 12 minutes. Swift with Boots, same thing, same deal. Mirage Mirror. So you can always do the trick. It copies artifact, creature, enchantments, or land. So you can copy somebody's Rhystic Study for a turn. Who knows? But you can always do the trick. I think, actually, never mind. I was thinking of the trick of you can make a copy at the end of somebody's turn, becomes a copy on your turn, but it says till end of turn, so it's different. But it's really useful because you can make a copy of play on a bridge or wherever you need, or some removal spell. Let's say some removal. Actually, let's see, like a Oblivion Stone and stuff like that. Or you can make a copy of their stuff. Eldrazi Conscription. This actually is an Eldrazi spell too. But I don't think Urza's Incubator does this. But let's read that real quick here. See, creature spells. So only creature spells. So not tribal spells. But it is an Eldrazi spell. Target creature, enchanted creature gets +1%, has trample, and Annihilator too. So it gives a little Annihilator. Commander's Plate. So when Commander Legends came out, like you think Commander's Plate on a monocolor deck is insane. Commander's Plate in a no-color deck, colorless deck, is completely bonkers. Basically says a quick creature gets +2/+3 and has protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity. So it has protection from all colors. It doesn't have protection from colorless or artifacts and stuff like that, but all colors. And it has equip commander 3 or equip 5. So basically, your creature has protection from almost everything if you equip Commander's Plate, which is pretty darn great. Graveyard Height, Relic Progenitus. I like Relic because we really don't need our graveyard. We just want to exile a bunch of graveyards at one time. I think Soul Guide's Lantern is a good replacement, but I think Relic better in this deck because you just want to exile everything all at the same time. Create some removal spells here. Duplicate. We are very limited in our sorceries, meaning that we have like 2. So we have to use like artifact removal to even do removal. So Duplicate's one of them. Mirror Golem destroys any permanent, so that's another removal. This is another sorcery. It is an Eldrazi spell, again, tribal sorcery. All's Dust. So each player sacrifices all color permanents they control. So this is a sack, even kills indestructible things, so they have to sacrifice it and stuff like that. If you have All's Dust and you have like it that betrays, you just get everything. You like Turgid everybody. So that's pretty crazy. Scour from Existence. I know it's very expensive, costs 7, exile target permanent, but it is what it is. It's not English Unmaking, but we have very little choices in this deck because it's all colorless. Titan's Presence. You have to reveal a creature card and you exile target creature. If its power is less than or equal to the reveal card's power, so it's very conditional. You have to have something in your hand, but we got to deal with what we have. Colorless is hard to play, right? Oblivion. Actually, it used to be very hard until they made these cards from Battle from Zendikar and from Rise of Eldrazi. So at least it's the Eldrazi help. Before, I think I made a colorless deck before Rise of Eldrazi, and it was like bad, just bad. I forgot what the commander was. It was just bad. Oblivion Stone, Perilous Vault. You need massive removal. These are essentially the best in colorless. So those are our removal suite there. And then we have our lands. Cavern Souls, of course, Eldrazi. Name Eldrazi. Eye of Ugin gives Eldrazi spells 2 less to cast. However, this does not tap for mana itself. Just remember that. You cannot play Mana Rock off Eye of Ugin unless you have Orborg or somebody else has Orborg. But do pay attention if somebody does have Orborg, because Orborg is really heavily played. So Eldrazi Temple. So these are things that tap for 2. Eye of Ugin doesn't tap for 2, but it provides 2 for Eldrazi spells. Eldrazi Temple. Ancient Tomb. Temple of the False Gods. Taps for 2 if you have 5 more land. Shrine of Forsaken Gods. Taps for 2 if you have 7 or more. They have the new Commander Lens Gildless Commons. It's kind of like a colorless bounce land. Hey, it works out. Why not? Then you have the Urzatron Lens. Urza's Tower, Power Plant, Mine. So Exhibition map for these is really good. So you have a bunch of lands that produce more than 1 mana. Sometimes. You have War Room. This is really good in like a mono white deck, but it's insane in a colorless deck because you pay 3. You pay life equal to the number of colors of your commander's color identity, which is 0 because you don't have any colors. Draw a card, so you just pay 3 tap, draw a card. We have Arch of Oraska. This is the City's Blessing. Draw a card. I got a little time shifted one, so it's not as good as War Room, but of course, when we're desperate for cards, we got to take what we get. Seagate Wreckage, draw a card, activate his ability if you have no cards in hand. So more card drawing in our lands. The cool part about is having colorless land is it's kind of like a monocolor deck, but even better because we can play all utility lands. We do play some basics because there are some nasty like back to basics players out there or Blood Moon players, so we do play basics. But all your utility lands are your kind of like your mana base. Some tutoring lands, Sanctum of Ugin can get you some stuff, but you gotta sack it. So don't sack it too early. You still want to cast your commander, Kozilek here. Inventor's Fair, gain life, find some artifacts. It does not find color spells, it finds artifacts. Command Beacon, get Kozilek back so you can cast it on the fair. We have this new card from Coldheim, Tyrite Sanctum. So it's really cool. Target legendary creature becomes a god. And then put +1/+1 counter on it. You know, the thing is that we just gotta slow roll this and say, you know, make it a god, +1/+1, and then next part, sacrifice the Sanctum, put an indestructible counter target god. You gotta turn Kozilek into god, right? These are the Eldrazi Titans, could be the Eldrazi gods too. That's there. Homeward Path. Somebody steals your stuff. People love stealing stuff. Commander nowadays. Get it all back. Remove Hexproof Shout, Arcane Lighthouse. Some land hate, Field of Ruin. So we're playing Field of Ruin or Strip Mine or whatever because we just cannot go down on a land. Our deck is so heavily, like it needs so much mana. We just don't want to go down on land. Blast-Zone. Speaking about not going down on land, Blast-Zone's removal. Again, we don't have many choices. Only use Blast-Zone in emergency because you know it is what it is. Totem of the Spirit Dragon. You just gain some life. Oh man, something in the throat. Gain some good life. +1/+1 counters. Ruins of Oran Reef. Mirror Pool. Make copies of things. Mishra's Factory. This is my pet card. It's not a great card. It just turns into a 2/2 assembly worker. It is what it is. Crawling Barrens. You could put +2 +1/+1 counters, and you may have it become a creature. So you know you could just mana dump into Crawling Barrens, and then turn the creature whenever you need it. So the creature part's optional. The counters part's not, I guess. Fuel the Dead. Make some zombies. That is a plan because you have lots of different land types. And Darksteel Citadel. It's indestructible, kind of indestructible land. Artifact land can help you, you know, with your Inventor's Fair and stuff. And then a bunch of wastes right here. These are the basic non-typed lands. I think that was a smart idea instead of making a basic land of type because it just messes up old cards. You just make it a basic land and it doesn't mess up like old cards at all. All right, so that is our mana base. That's our deck. This deck is super fun. Again, this deck's super slow. Okay, I know EDH has got a little faster, so hopefully they'll give us better tools in the future. But this deck, you know, I love this deck. It is super fun playing Big Daddy creatures. Sometimes you want to play Battlecruiser Magic and just like, and this is what EDH is about, right? Playing your big creatures. So anyways, I'm gonna shuffle this deck up. But before then, you know, if you enjoy the deck tech, give it a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for notifications when I have new videos. I have my TCG player affiliate link in the description below, deck list in the description below. So we're going to give this deck a quick shuffle, and then we'll be right back. All right, we are back. I used a little green spike feeder dice here because, you know, I add a little color to our colorless deck. All right, let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This deck is not fast. Again, we're playing 10 mana commander and like, what? 10 plus mana spells, who knows, 8 plus mana spells, so it's a lot. All right, see what we got. Bunch of land, that's what we want, land and ramp. We got 4 lands, piece of ramp, 2 pieces of ramp, and Ugin. Of course, the thing is, like, we'd rather just have all lands, all ramp. Well, a blend of land and ramp. We'll trade this Ugin for a piece of ramp. It doesn't matter because we have a commander that refills our hand. This is not bad. This Dreamstone Hedron is a little awkward. But we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, so we might be able to do it if we draw a land in one of these 4 turns. Got Eldrazi Temple, so it's got like a 2 mana for Kozilek, so it's not bad. All right, let's go. Boom, Skyclave Relic. Okay, we'll just play our waste first because we can't do anything else. I'm gonna say go. Turn 2. Boom, Third Dynamo. That's sweet. Look at all these great cards. All right, so what we want to do is play, I guess, whatever. Seagate Wreckage. See, more ramp. The more the merrier. Thought Vessel. Right there, and then we say go again. Again, got Thought Wrestle here. We can War Room, more lands. Why not? We'll play War Room. All right. So what you do is you have 3 lands, a tap for colorless. The other text is not really relevant. We could tap all this right here for Thurn Dynamo, and then we have choices here. We could tap the Skyclave Relic or try to kick it, or Dreamstone Hedron. So let's actually count up. We could play 3 mana, play Skyclave Relic right away, unkicked. So hypothetically, next turn, if we think in our heads, we'd have this. We untap, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could play Kozilek next turn, or we could just not play this next turn. Have more mana. Play Ugin. Right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or we just play Ugin next turn. So I think our chances of playing Skyclave Relic are slim because we do have the Dreamstone Hedron playing. So I would just tap this, play a Relic unkicked, tap this for nothing, obviously. So our next turn, what we want to do is untap, draw. So we play our Eldrazi Temple. So what we can do is we have choices here, right? This is 2, 3. Next turn's turn 4. So we're ramping hard, right? We have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. We could actually play a Kozilek on turn 4, just pretty ridiculous. Because we got Eldrazi Temple, which is a 2 mana land for Kozilek. Or we could play Ugin, or we could play Dreamstone Hedron. Duplicate, maybe? I think so. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So what we could do is just go slow, because we want to empty our hand, because Kozilek will bring it back, because it's a cast trigger, unless somebody stifles that trigger, but they don't really have stifle. People don't play stifle that often. Play disallow maybe. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mana here. We'll play our Dreamstone Hedron. We'll tap Dreamstone Hedron for 3 right off the bat. We'll tap this 3 for 6. We'll play our duplicate. We'll exile somebody's creature, somebody's commander probably. Enter ETBs, you may exile target non-token creature as long as creature cards imprint on duplicate. Duplicate has creature's power and toughness. What happens if you exile their commander? It won't be imprinted because it's gone. And then it's a 2/4. I believe that's the ruling. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so that was turn 4. That's a powerful turn 4. Turn 5, we'll untap everything here. We'll draw a card. Ancient Tomb, more mana. Why not? Let's just put it down here. So what do we have here? Can we play? Let's see how much mana we got. 3, 6, 7, 8. So Ugin mana is here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are in our hand. So we could just play Kozilek. Why not? We came here to play Kozilek, right? We'll do this. We'll tap the Eldrazi Temple because that makes 2. We will tap Thurn Dynamo and Dreamstone Hedron because that makes 3. So 6, 7, 8, and then what else? 8, 2, 9, 10. We'll take 2 for that. Okay, and then we draw up to 7, have 2. So we have 3, 4, sweet 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's see how much mana we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 mana. Just enough for Kozilek's Channeler, or if we want to ramp even harder, Wayfarer's Bauble. So I think, well, harder, I mean, I guess Kozilek's Channeler has to survive. We'll play Kozilek's Channeler. Boom. So now we have, a 1-drop, a 6-drop, an 8-drop, and a 2 8-drops, and a 12-drop to discard. I would actually keep Kozilek's Channeler in my hand to use his ability to counter something. So hypothetically, we could play Wayfarer's Bauble. We could end of turn crack it for something. Put our hand right there. Get our waste. Put into play tapped. So shuffle our library. So the thing is, like, if somebody plays because a 5-drop is more scarier than a 1-drop. Somebody plays one. I mean, Swords of Plowshare is scary, but whatever. If they Swords Kozilek, we'll just play it again. I mean, they really don't want Swords Kozilek. So let's say they play a 5, a 6. Those are scary numbers. 5, 6, 8. We could just counter. Hypothetically, let's say they play a 5-drop. We just say, okay, we're just gonna discard Kozilek's Channeler and counter it. Wherever they play 6-drop, discard Hellkite, counter it. Like that. And then we go like, okay, we'll take our turn. Here, we'll take our turn 6, which is a very powerful turn. We'll draw Swiftfoot Boots. Okay, that's sweet. We'll play our land, our 6th land here. All right, we could play Blightsteel Colossus. Yeah, sure, why not? Right, this is 6 here, 7, 8. I draw temples only for 1, so let's just not tap that. 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll play 12, play our Blightsteel. We still have 4 mana, 5 Eldrazi mana left. We'll be like, oh, sure. We'll play our Swiftfoot Boots. We'll attach this to Blightsteel. Crunch. Boom. And then we still have Haymakers in our hand, so this is amazing. This deck is super fun. Anyways, if you enjoy the deck tech, enjoy the little goldfish, and give the video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Deck list, TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. And as always, have a wonderful day.